So I'm not sure Facebook and Insta, I may be looking one by one to different things, so don't worry about that. So today I'm going to talk about very interesting topic. It is all about obesity. Now, why are we doing so much of why are we sharing so much of knowledge about we know that obesity has got its own problems, and we realized during this recent pandemic that obesity has lot of effects, and when it comes to COVID, especially if you are obese, lot of patients had problems with breathing difficulty, and lot of mortality also happened, especially in obese patients. So now it is high time we have to realize that obesity is a disease, and it's almost an epidemic now. I would say pandemic, and it is all over the world. Only there are certain poor countries who do not still have much of obesity. There also they have one side malnutrition and other side obesity. So a lot of issues are there with obesity. So we have to know that obesity is the mother of all diseases. If you are obese, you have high chances of getting diabetes, you have high chances of getting blood pressure, you have high chances of getting menstrual irregularities. Nowadays we are seeing a lot of young females with menstrual problems. So all those things can be because of obesity. So once we realize that obesity is a disease, and it is high time we have to do something about obesity, then we will be able to bring our country back from clutches of diabetes, because soon India is going to become a diabetic capital. So we should know that yes, it's high time we should start working on this. So today I am going to, this is the whole reason behind like why we wanted to do so much of brainstorming sessions for obesity, and I think everybody should know what happens when you become obese and why it has to be controlled. It's not about looks, it's not about your figure, it's not about your shape, it's all about your health. Okay, that's where we are discussing about obesity. So as you people know that obesity gives rise to all the problems. Okay, that's the reason I will tell you different ways to control obesity, because nowadays a lot of viewers had some questions, and there are people who want to lose 5 kgs and there are people who want to lose 50 kgs. So how to go in that journey? So first of all, how will you know that you are obese? So everybody should know what is their BMI. Okay, BMI means body mass index. If you know your BMI, definitely you will be able to do something about it. Many people I am seeing, they never check their weight because they are scared to step on the weighing scale, and then when they come to us they realize that oh my god, they have gone past 100 kgs, 120 kgs, 140 kgs. That is what will happen. Okay, so do not get scared to check your weight. You should check your BMI. Now actually I had posted a few this thing, so you can see here. I think in the camera you may be able to see viewers, but how do you check your BMI? You check your BMI, you take your weight in kgs divided by height in meters and you square it. Okay, that's how you check your BMI. So if your BMI is less than 25, lot of BMI calculators are available online. You can just download one of the BMI calculator and you can check your BMI. If your BMI is less than 25, you are normal. You don't have to worry much, but yes, you should maintain your weight. That's very important, and it does not mean that thin people should not exercise. Thin people also should exercise. Okay, so that's about normal people. Now when you see your BMI has become from 25, it goes to 30, you come in the overweight category. When you are in the overweight category, like if you have checked your BMI and your BMI is around 27, 28, 29, it is high time you start losing weight. If you lose weight with 27 BMI, there are high chances that you will not need any surgical intervention, you will not need any medications also maybe, and just with diet and exercise you will be able to lose. So how do you lose weight when you are BMI of 27, 28, 29, maybe up to 30? First thing is diet. At the end of the program I am going to give you 7 tips which you have to follow lifelong. You will be absolutely healthy, you will never have issues with your weight. First is diet. It's very important what you eat. There are a lot of fancy diets nowadays, like keto diet, Mediterranean diet, GM diet, and you name, lot of diets are there. So my suggestion is, don't go for those kind of crash diets. You eat whatever ancestors have been eating till now, and it's called a balanced diet. Enough amount of proteins, very little carbohydrates, and very little amount of fats. This is how your the daily diet should be, with lot of vegetables and fruits, and very minimal amount of, if you are on your weight loss program, first of all you need to stop your sugar intake, completely stop your sweets, ice creams, sweets in any form, chocolates, bakery products, simple sugars you have to stop. Take more of whole grains and proteins. Okay, so that's about that. And exercise is something that is compulsory, so daily you should be exercising, at least walk for 45 minutes. Daily you should be walking 45 minutes, and 2 days in a week you should be at least exercising vigorously, like either playing some game, whether it is swimming, or you can play tennis, badminton, anything, but that's very important to play something 2 days in a week. Okay, so that's about exercise. And there are certain safe medications available. There are certain meal replacement options available which are absolutely safe. You can consult your doctor and you can have those options. It will help you to come down with your weight in a proper way, not you see, it's very difficult to starve. I cannot ask you don't eat in the night. Instead of that, if I give you a meal replacement, definitely you will be able to do it. Plus it will have good amount of proteins and all the multivitamins that are required for your body, and you will be able to do it for a long time. You will be able to lose your weight in a healthy way. So that's the reason that is very important. So these are the options that are available for people who are between 25 to 30 BMI. Now if you go beyond 30 BMI, you come in the obese category. Okay, so between 30 to 35 BMI, you are mild obese. You can keep your camera here, then it is easy for me to look on both the sides. So if it is BMI of 30 to 35, you come in a mild obese category. So when you come in a mild obese category, you should understand that first of all you have a there are a lot of reasons for obesity, so I am not getting into that. There are a lot of genetic reasons as well. You need to definitely do whatever I told when you are in the overweight category, like diet, exercise, change in your lifestyle, some medications, meal replacement options. Apart from that, there are certain options also available. Till now I used to do a lot of awareness programs for diet, exercise and all those things. So now today I feel I am going to talk about all the surgical and the endoscopic options that are available, because there are a lot of wrong conceptions and a lot of people want to know what it is. So the options that you have are endoscopic options till 35 BMI. So what are the endoscopic options? It is called endoscopic sleeve gastroplasty. So what do we do in that? I don't know if you are able to, I can just change, little shift this. And if you are able to see here, what we do is through a small endoscope, through endoscopy, we go inside and we try to suture the stomach from inside. So when we suture the stomach from inside, it becomes small. Okay, so when it becomes small, you will be able to eat a small quantity of food. It's a daycare procedure and there are no you don't need to get admitted for a long time. You can go back to work. There are no scars. It's a scarless procedure. So this is one option that is possible when you want to lose up to 10 to 15% of your body weight. There is one more option which is called a intragastric balloon. Okay, so in that we just through endoscopy we place a balloon inside the stomach. So what happens, it will occupy majority of the space. Sorry guys, I am trying to search for a balloon option so that you understand what it is. I hope you are able to see that. Yeah, probably you will be able to see reverse, but this is how a balloon looks like. You can see that's the stomach and we place the balloon. So when we place the balloon, it occupies almost 2/3 of the space. The whole space is occupied by balloon. when that is occupied by balloon, you can eat. The rest of the space is only available for you to eat. Okay, so you will be automatically able to eat less. So if your capacity is like one plate of rice, with this particular procedure, you can keep this balloon in place for 6 months to 1 year. Okay, and there are nowadays a lot of new balloons that are available, which are swallowable balloons. They go inside and then they come out on their own. There are a lot of new inventions happening in this field as well. So these are all the endoscopic options. They are non-surgical options. So these are things that are possible when you want to lose some 10 to 15% of your body weight. So these are the two options in the endoscopy side. And then once you go beyond that, suppose your BMI goes beyond 35 and you have diabetes, you have blood pressure, you have other comorbidities, then yes, it is high time that you should start thinking about a different weight loss options. Always the first options are diet, exercise, lifestyle, and I won't say it's a first option, it's a lifelong practice. It is about changing yourself. Obesity is a disease that goes lifelong. There is no single cure of obesity. It is not that you get a weight loss surgery done and then just forget it and whole life you will be absolutely normal. It's not like that. You need to change your diet pattern. You need to exercise on a daily basis. You need to change your lifestyle. Without that, nothing is going to work for you. So take it from me. It is not that nothing is replaceable. These three things are compulsory. Okay. So what happens when you go beyond 35 BMI or beyond 40 BMI, when your BMI is much more? So those particular patients, you will find it very difficult to walk. Like when you female patients, our average Indian height is 5 feet. So when they go beyond 100 kg, okay, they find it difficult to walk. They have low back pain. They have a lot of knee pain. They are not able to exercise much. So for them, even though they are going to follow a lifestyle change, the dietary changes, still it is necessary that they need some help. Okay, so there are different varieties of weight loss surgeries. Now what are these weight loss surgeries? They are called bariatric surgeries. It is commonly done in our country. We have probably in our country we are doing huge numbers of bariatric surgeries, and we have got 15 to 20 years of follow-up. There are no complications about this surgery. Only thing is the selection of surgery, what is going to help you, that is something that is very important. It is very important that you follow with your doctor on a routine basis. It is not something that you just do the surgery and then never go for follow-up. Then you will have, you will not know whether any nutritional issues are there, or whether you need to, sometimes you may put on some weight after 3 years, 4 years. Just with 2 kg weight gain, if you go back to your doctor, you will be able to, again, they will be able to help you out to again shed that weight. Okay. So now today I am going to little bit talk about weight loss surgeries. There are different varieties of weight loss surgeries. There are two most common surgeries done all over the world. One is called a laparoscopic sleeve gastrectomy. Okay, so what do we do in a laparoscopic sleeve gastrectomy? I don't know if you are able to focus here. Like if you can see this first surgery, that's a laparoscopic sleeve gastrectomy. So what do we do is, this is the stomach size, and we have cut this stomach, we have removed this part, and your stomach capacity is only this much. Okay, so when your stomach volume becomes small, automatically you will be able to eat a small quantity of food. It's a permanent thing, but believe me, we do not need so much of food. Whatever we are eating is much more than what is required for the body. Okay, so once we stop eating too much of food, and once we come down with the food intake, automatically there will be calorie deficit, and you will be able to lose weight. First month you will lose some weight, second month, third month, till 1 year you will keep on losing some amount of weight each month. Along with that, it is very important that whatever small quantity of food you are eating should be healthy. There is no problem with there are no side effects or problems with nutrition as far as this particular surgery goes. Yes, we counsel the patients how to eat. When you are eating a small quantity, you should know what to eat. So all those things are very important. Connect with your doctor, find out what all things have to be followed, Go for a regular health checks. Believe me, it will change your life. So this is something that is going to help you out. There is one more surgery which is called gastric bypass. This is gastric bypass. I'm sorry for my Facebook viewers, I'm not able to zoom in. So what do we do in this? Stomach becomes small. So we staple and make the stomach size small. Plus we join the intestine directly to the stomach. So what happens that you will be able to eat a small quantity of food. At the same time, the food will go through a different passage. So what will happen? Small quantity, food intake comes down, plus food goes through a different passage. So there will be more insulin-like substances that get secreted and your diabetes will get under control. You will be losing weight. Plus this, especially this particular surgery, is good for people who have diabetes. You will become non-diabetic. You will be able to stop your medications. Only thing is with gastric bypass, yes, you need to be in regular follow-up with your doctor. You can need some nutritional requirements in future after 6 months, 1 year. So we do regular tests for all the patients, and whatever nutritional supplements are required, generally we give to our patients. So that is the only small side effect I would say that is required. But it's all about knowledge. It's all about patient awareness. It's all about patients also should know how to take care of yourself. If you are a diabetic or if you have undergone a gastric bypass, then you should go regularly for health checks, and I'm sure you will be happy with the complete weight loss and the loss of all the comorbidities. Okay, so these are the surgical options that are available. So either it can be an endoscopic options or it can be weight loss surgical options. These are the surgical options available. And today I am going to talk about, like, a lot of people do not understand the difference between. You have any? This is fine. Should I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
So a lot of people do not know the difference between weight loss and body sculpting, because I am seeing a lot of people who are 90 kgs, their BMI may be around 40, but they are thinking that they just want to remove the fat. Either they want to just do the liposuction or they just want to do the tummy tuck. So I am going to little bit discuss about this particular thing. See, body sculpting is inch loss. It is not weight loss. If you want to do weight loss along with inch loss, then yes, if at all you are doing this particular options, along with that you need to follow a particular diet, you need to take some medications for weight loss, and you need to change your lifestyle. You need to do all these things, then only you will be able to that sound is coming, echoing. Then only you will be able to lose weight, as well as the body sculpting will work for you. You understand? Otherwise it is not going to work. So let me tell you a few things. There are a lot of non-surgical options available for sculpting. Okay, and there are a lot of surgical options available for sculpting. There are options like normally people call it as a tummy tuck. So what do you mean by tummy tuck? What do we do in a tummy tuck? Okay, so I have one small pic. If you can see this, if you have a hanging tummy like this, without BMI may be around 25, 26, okay, but just the tummy is there, then yes, this tummy can be removed surgically. So we put an incision down, just take down all the things, and the abdomen becomes flat. So that is the option that is available, that's called a tummy tuck. So that is what we do in a tummy tuck. But often people have misconception about tummy tuck and weight loss procedures. That's the reason today I thought I need to explain you tummy tuck is not a weight loss procedure. Tummy tuck is just a body sculpting procedure. Apart from that, there are liposuction procedures also. So a lot of patients have confusion, like whether how to do the weight loss, whether some of the procedures will help or not. So there are a lot of different options. Do not just like that blindly go ahead with something, because many times patients have their own mindsets that no, I want to do this. You go to a proper specialist, let the doctor decide what is going to help you. You may think that liposuction will help, you may think that weight loss procedure will help, but when a doctor assesses, they will be in a better position to explain you what is really going to help you. So that's a request to all my viewers that please start taking care of your health. Do something about weight loss now itself, because yes, it's a growing epidemic, and probably we are planning to come out with some awareness programs for all our Chennai viewers, and it's going to be the program of Fitter Chennai and Better Chennai. That is what we are going to launch, and I am going to give a complete support to everything. Anybody can come for a free consultation to us, and we'll be able to help you out how to lose weight in a more organic way. Okay, so I would like to take some questions. So Malini, some questions are there, then I can take the questions, and I have one list of questions which are given by the viewers. So let me answer that. Okay, so I have a question from one of the viewer, like how to lose 10 kgs. So yes, it's a very gross thing how to lose 10 kgs. Like probably you would have calculated your BMI and you should be knowing that how much weight loss you need exactly. So to lose 10 kgs, yes, you can take care of the diet pattern what you are having. Have a proper balanced diet. Stop all your bakery items and sugary foods and ice creams, chocolates, everything, and put it down. Then only you will be able to see. So come down with all those things. Change your lifestyle. One small example I'll give about lifestyle. People have a habit of simply sitting and telling, give me water, give me this, give me that. Please don't do that. You please get up on your own and have water on your own. Start doing your own things on your own. You want to have a tea, just get up, make your tea and have it. It is change in the lifestyle. It's going to help you. Okay. So all these things you need to start doing, and if you are not exercising, please start exercising. Okay. So if you lose 1 kg in a week, it's a good weight loss. So in a month, it's around 3 to 4 kgs. So if you are going to follow all these things, then yes, probably in 3 months time, you will be able to lose your 10 kg weight. Okay. And we have one more question. I have already told about everything, how to lose belly fat, that I told. Please start exercising even after pregnancy. Okay, I am seeing a lot of females post pregnancy, they feel that no, they will not exercise for 1 year. It's not like that. If you exercise in a proper way, definitely it will help you. You should start exercising from 3 months post pregnancy. If you are a normal delivery, 1 month post pregnancy, you should start exercising. If you start exercising immediately post pregnancy and concentrate on your weight loss and start taking care of, see, post pregnancy we need more fluids when you are feeding the child, but you do not need so much of sugary foods and bakery items and things like that. Okay, so take care of your diet and start exercising. That is where you will be able to lose your belly fat. Okay, so start exercising, that's very important. And there are another few questions. Can you please give some tips on maintaining a healthy weight? Yes, I have 7 tips which I give to all my patients as a printout, and I just make sure that I don't know whether they are following or not, but at least it's my duty to give them. So I will give you 7 tips to maintain a healthy weight. Okay, start losing weight and then do this. You will lose weight also and you will be able to maintain weight also. I'm sorry, I have posted here, but I think I can remove it. Okay, so guys, my first tip for weight loss. Actually, I had done this for you to show, but I think in the front camera it will be all ulta pulta. I will not be able to show. So I am going to explain you. First thing, sit less. There are a lot of studies telling that if you sit for more than 8 hours, especially people working in the IT sector in front of computers, If you are going to sit continuously for 8 hours in a day, you have more chances of heart problems, you have more chances of obesity, you have more chances of diabetes and some cancers also. Okay, obesity and cancers are related. If you are obese, you have high chances of getting even breast cancers. Okay, there are a lot of cancers that are related to obesity, so please start working on yourself. Okay, so sit less. Whenever possible, try to get up from the chair and try to walk around. Okay, so you should not be sitting continuously. That is my first tip. Number 2, eat like a farmer. Okay, when you eat like a farmer means what? You have seen our farmer sitting. Okay, it will be only the whole grains and legumes and pulses, nothing else, with some curd, dahi. Okay, so start eating like that. No processed foods, no ready to eat foods, no bakery items, no chocolates, no ice creams. Please stop all these things. Automatically you will have a healthy body and 100% you will be able to maintain your weight if you are going to eat like that. See, if you have seen lot of village people, they use lot of millets. Like I use lot of millets, but I'm just telling that thing has gone out of thing in the cities. We are all chapati based diet. We are not using so much of millets, but you should experiment with different varieties of millets on a regular basis. Okay, that is going to be healthy and you will be able to maintain your weight as well. Number 3, take control. You should control your portions. See, nowadays what is happening, if we like some food, we just keep on eating. It should not be like that. You should have a control on yourself. If it is gulab jamun or rasagulla in front of you, one gulab jamun, you should be done with it. You should not be touching the second gulab jamun. If it is laddu, big laddu, take just a half or a quarter. Decide portions for yourself. Even I am not asking you to stop anything. You can eat whatever food you feel like. If you enjoy laddus, please have, but have a control. Very small amount. You should have your own control on your food. Number 4, skip a meal often. I always tell my patients, there is our ancestors, even our parents, they used to do a lot of fasting. I feel that is good for health. Today I have not discussed about intermittent fasting. I had one program when I spoke so much about intermittent fasting. It really helps in a better glucose control. It helps in a good insulin secretion. So definitely that helps. Sorry. So please have fasting whenever possible. If you had a good lunch, okay, suppose you had a office meeting or you have gone out for lunch, skip your dinner. Just have fruits for dinner or just have soup for dinner. That's the best way to keep your calories in a check. Okay, so skip a meal often. Number 5 is sleep. You should have an adequate sleep. If you do not have adequate sleep, then yes, you will have lot of hormonal imbalance, lot of irritation. In that case, you will overeat, lot of depression will come. Everything will go for a toss. So please make sure that you have adequate sleep on a daily basis. Number 6 is diet. I am not asking you to starve. Eat a right kind of food. Eat a balanced diet. No other fat diets. Just have a good balanced diet. You will be absolutely normal throughout life. And number 7 is daily exercise. If you have to see, daily recommendation is 45 minutes of walk. My recommendation is on a daily basis. 2 days in a week you should do some intense exercise for 1 hour. Either you play games with your children. I am asking of outdoor games, no indoor games. Okay. So either you play some good game with children or you go for swimming, anything, but 2 days in a week of intense exercise. These are the 7 points which I would like to stress today. Please follow this. It's going to change your lifestyle. I'm going to put this as a single this thing on my FB page as well as on Insta. So you can just take a printout also and just put it in your room. Daily look into that. 100% it will give you so much of motivation. Okay, so I'm going to post that next. So we have some more questions. Okay, there is one more question. Is non-surgical treatment permanent? Any treatment will be permanent if you are going to follow, if you are going to maintain your weight loss after whatever treatment you have done. Okay, whether it is surgery or non-surgery, irrespective of that. That's why what I told now 7 points. You have to follow lifelong. See, you have to understand that obesity, you have a genetic problem. Okay, you have a tendency to put on weight. It's not that you are eating so much and that's why you're putting on weight. It's not like that. So when you have a genetic tendency, it's a lifelong struggle. Obesity is a lifelong struggle. Everybody struggles throughout the life, whoever are maintaining weight. It is not that easy. Okay, so if you want to maintain your weight lifelong, you have to make sure that lifelong you follow certain. It's all about discipline. Okay, so yes, non-surgical treatment also can be permanent if you are going to follow all the weight loss things in the proper way. Okay, please tell us how to control fast food cravings. See, I believe in one thing, cravings. Okay, that is here. Everything is here. If you are able to control your mind, you can control your mouth. Okay, cravings, yes, everybody can have cravings at some point or no. Whenever you have cravings, tell yourself that no, I am not supposed to eat this. I want to lead a happy, healthy lifestyle. Go and hit a gym. Okay, or go for a walk. Whenever you have craving, go for a walk. Believe me, whenever you exercise, whenever you walk, you have good amount of endorphins that get secreted and your cravings will go off. Okay, so whenever you have craving, go for a walk, go for an exercise, your cravings will go off. Sorry guys, I have so many papers. I am trying to find out what all I have not answered. So, how to maintain weight once it is lost. So, I told you some tips about weight maintenance. So, you can follow that. And I think we will end the session as our we are just going beyond time. And thank you so much all the viewers for watching me today. And I am going to post all the 7 points about healthy lifestyle and weight maintenance what I discussed just now on both the pages. And wish you, all of you, wish a very happy and healthy life. Thank you so much for watching this program.